Okay, everybody, hello and welcome back to InstaSpeedathon 2021. We are going to go over now to Arkham Knight Any Percent Hard by One-Eyed Deacon. I hope you're all excited and ready for this. This is going to be a very long run. It's got an estimate of about 3 hours. And obviously we do have those two polls that are still open for just the time being, so if you can get those last minute donations in, that'll be absolutely fantastic, because those polls will be closing. I'm assuming they'll be closing relatively soon, but we're going to go over now to One-Eyed Deacon for Arkham Knight Any Percent Hard. So put your hands together, let's get ready, let's get excited, hype the chat up and all that stuff, and we're going to go over now to One-Eyed Deacon.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Wait.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, now it's clear.
All right. Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. I think we can close the pick a skin poll. So the one that won is the 2008 Dark Knight suit, which is this one. So I'm going to choose that. The other one we can kind of keep open on a rolling basis if you want, because I can always turn big head mode on or off depending on how that goes.
Okay, so I've closed pick a skin, and what I'll do is, as donations come in, then for big head mode, I'll let you know if one surpasses the other, and we'll change it as we go along. That would be quite a fun way of doing things, I think. So, everybody, as you heard from One-Eyed Deacon, big head mode is on a rolling basis. So, donate and we'll turn it on and off as one exceeds the other. That'll be quite fun to see. Let's see if we can surpass £600 in the next 3 hours, shall we?
All right. Awesome. Yeah, so thanks for joining. So this is, I'm going to be doing Arkham Knight Any Percent hard on the hard difficulty. So let's just get started. So as kind of a preface, the timer also doesn't start yet. The timer starts in a bit. But as kind of a preface, Arkham Knight is the third game in the Batman Arkham trilogy and the fourth game in the Batman Arkham anthology, because there's a prequel game. In the previous game, which is Arkham City, there's a supervillain named the Joker who has his blood poisoned. So in order to try to get himself cured of his ailment, he tries to inspire Batman by injecting his blood into Batman. And for good measure, he also sends his blood to hospitals around the city for transfusions.
When does time start, by the way? Is it supposed to start now, or is it?
Yeah, it'll start when I start burning this body, because Joker succumbs to his illness and passes away. So the first thing we're gonna do is burn his body, and timing starts. I'll count down to it. So timing starts in 3, 2, 1, go. And then after we burn the body, we'll be treated to an epic narration by Commissioner Gordon.
This is how it happened. This is how the Batman died.
So, so in this cutscene that we skip, basically the exposition is that after Joker died, there was a big power... Commissioner Gordon anticipated a power vacuum, and he thought there would be like a big war going on, but it never happened, so he's still worried that something in the future will happen. But in the meantime, things are pretty stable. Right now we're playing the role of a police officer in a diner, ordering some food. There's a nice waitress to share in here. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this diner, so like there's a missing person poster here, that might be relevant later. Goliath is still at large, that might be relevant later. Some airships over there, that might be relevant later. Then this Karen here comes and interrupts our dinner. Tells us there's a guy smoking in the corner of the diner. So we're a cop. We'll just deal with it.
I'll have a word.
We'll just take a look, see if we can talk to this guy and tell him to stop smoking.
Excuse me, sir. There's no smoking in here.
I guess he didn't really like being told to stop smoking, so he turned into a monster and attacked us. And now it looks like also the entire diner has turned into monsters. But we're a cop. We can defend ourselves. We have a gun. Here it's faster to shoot this guy. You don't have to shoot the guy when you're playing casually. And all that does is that changes some NPC dialogue in the future, but not really relevant to the speedrun. So basically what happened in the diner is that there's another supervillain named Scarecrow who made some fear toxin, and he basically released that in the diner, and basically people started attacking each other. So as a result, this was just a warning. He released a small amount, and the police evacuated the city in the meantime. The only people left in the city are some police officers, obviously Batman, then there's supervillains like Penguin and Two-Face here, and some rioters. And basically we're going to be spending the game trying to stop Scarecrow from his plans. So by the way, so one of the incentives is Big Head mode. So I'm going to turn it on for a little bit just to show you what it is.
It took just 24 hours for us to lose control of the city.
And we'll keep it on a rolling basis. Right now, no Big Head mode is winning, I believe.
One man to save us all.
But what it does is it makes people's heads and body and hands ridiculously large. So like right now, Batman's head is really big. So I will now turn it back off. There we go. So that's what the game should look like, but in Big Head mode, the head becomes freakishly large. So there's a bat signal over there. We'll just head on over to it. Because Batman likes to go to bat signals. At this bat signal, we have Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon's going to tell us that there is basically a military vehicle going around the city that they're not able to track. And then here we talk to Barbara Gordon, who is Commissioner Gordon's daughter, who is, she's paralyzed, also she works for us and her father doesn't know. And she tells us that there's a cop in the middle of the city that is in a bit of trouble, so we're gonna go rescue him. So one thing is I'm playing on hard. On hard, especially in the beginning, fights are a bit slow. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try to speed it up by taking some guys down at the start. So that speeds up the fight a bit. We rescue the cop, but then the military vehicle tries to run us over. But with our Batman-like reflexes, we're able to escape and rescue the officer. So now we're chasing the military vehicle, it's also being chased by a police officer. But this police officer is going to get blown up. So F's for that guy. The easiest way of, and probably one of the fastest ways, is to cut the car off here and hit him.
Don't worry, Jim. He's mine. That takes care of the vehicle. We need to interrogate the driver and find out what he knows.
And then, so now we can interrogate him. So I just canceled an animation. We're going to be doing animation cancels a lot in this. We canceled an animation of pulling him out of the car into the middle of the road. And then we'll just interrogate him.
Talk, or I'll crush every bone in your body.
Okay. She's working out of a penthouse.
One thing I'll go over during this cutscene is that I'm playing this on hard. The main difference between hard and like easy is that Batman takes a lot more damage. Enemies also are like more alerted and predators, and they attack you faster. So that's kind of the main difference. Alright, so basically now we think Scarecrow's in this warehouse up here, or a safe house up here. again, we'll try to do this fight
Look who it is.
with some
You should
canceled
really review your
takedowns.
security.
Oops.
Something tells me this was a
Alright, so the Scarecrow actually isn't here. Instead, we see Poison Ivy. In the cutscene that we skip, Poison Ivy basically tells us that when Scarecrow and all the villains are like trying to basically destroy Batman and the city, the other is we find out Ivy is immune to Scarecrow's toxin. Then we decide to escort Ivy to GCPD. She is a supervillain after all. And when we exit, we get confronted by the militia and some tanks. Fortunately, our Batmobile turns into a tank, so we're able to deal with these tanks appropriately. So let's do that. There's 6 tanks that come here. Sometimes one of the tanks doesn't really like pop out in a reasonable way. Like right now, sometimes it pops out here, sometimes it'll pop out here, but it can get like stuck behind buildings. That unfortunately happened here. So here it is. It's not a big deal. So now we're gonna take. What we're gonna do first is these weapons diagnostics. But we can. This is like a tutorial for how to use the tank. But we can just abort it. We don't need to do it. Then we're gonna deal with some more tanks before we actually take Ivy to GCPD.
Come in, all units. This is Commissioner Gordon. We have numerous hostile tanks deployed across the city. Gotham is under attack. I want everyone off the streets and back to GCPD. We're not equipped to deal with what's out there.
So if you notice, like this tank has two guns, and it has also like a special combo weapon. So basically, you have the main cannon, and you also have the Vulcan gun, which is basically a machine gun. And if you shoot the glowing parts of the tanks with the Vulcan gun, you basically take them out instantly. And then also, then you also have like the special combo weapon. So you have this like missile launcher thing that you can launch. You can like destroy 4 tanks at once with it. I'm going to use those a lot. So if you see me shooting a machine gun, that's what I'm doing.
You kidding me?
So now we're going to lock Ivy up in GCPD, and then after this we're going to get probably definitely the most important gadget in the game. We're going to just go into the evidence room. We're going to steal something called the remote electrical charge gun from it. The cops don't care. The reason why this gadget is important is because it's going to let us do glitches later. So the reason why it's going to let us do glitches is that the animation for firing the remote electrical charge gun is a bit slow. So you're able to interrupt that animation with other animations. And basically, after we do that, if you try to quick fire that gadget again, the game gets confused about where to position Batman. So then it'll be able to basically teleport Batman. We call that teleporting zipping. And so we're going to be using that a lot in this run. Right now, there's not much going on. We're being introduced to the side missions by Commissioner Gordon and Aaron Cash at the computer. I can't zoom in on him anymore. We're not going to do any of these because this is any %. You don't do side missions in this category. But basically there's missing firefighters, there's some murder victims, and there's obviously Riddler.
Also, we've had several sightings of the Riddler creeping around.
So yeah, Aaron Cash at the computer.
Knowing that guy.
Now, we're not going to do any of the side missions, but we do need to select a mission here because this is our selecting mission tutorial. I generally select the firefighter mission just because my cursor is the closest to it.
See what I can do. I'll find that missing fire crew.
As we leave, there's this guy in this jail cell whose arm we broke earlier. We can actually hit his head on the bars. It's pretty funny. We can interact with him twice during the game if we want to. Although that's it, we can't interact with him a third time, which is kind of sad. But yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna head to the clock tower because Oracle lives there. Also, we're talking to someone named Lucius Fox. He's the CEO of Wayne Enterprises, and he also handles Batman's gadgets. So he enables the afterburner on the Batmobile, which is very useful for going quickly in the Batmobile. So thanks, Lucius. So this is the clock tower. This is where Oracle lives, and she has like a secret computer in here that she's using to kind of analyze Scarecrow's toxin. I'm trying to like cancel an animation, so that's why I'm like firing gel. What we're trying to do is interrupt the animation with a gel animation. So basically now Oracle looks at the computer, tells us that she isolated the fear toxin to Scarecrow, or the fear toxin's core chemicals. And now what we're going to do is try to find the source of those chemicals. So we're going to do that by hacking 2 antennas. So the first antenna is in front of us at Panessa Studios. We're gonna hack it, but then we're gonna find that we don't have any power to actually use the antenna. So we're gonna need to have something. We're gonna need to find some way of powering this antenna. Maybe Lucius can help us with one of his trusty gadgets.
The generator's damaged. I need to bypass it and power the antenna directly.
Hello again, Mr. Wayne.
So what Lucius is going to give us is something called the Power Winch, which is basically a Batmobile accessory. It's going to do, it does several things. We're going to see all of those things in here, and then we'll see the Power Winch in action, I think, one more time in the run, and then that's it. If we were doing 100%, we would see it a lot more. There's actually a skip you can do, but it's ridiculously difficult. I'm not going to do it. So there's the first thing you can do is pull down objects. It can also pull up makeshift ramps. You also want to make sure you don't fall in this when you're on top of here, because you lose like a lot of time, and I don't like losing time. So you can also use the power winch to pull yourself up buildings. And the final thing you can use it for, obviously, is to do what we want to do, which is to power, supply electricity to things like this antenna over here. So then we want to go to the second antenna. Here we also talked to Robin, who's doing some work for us. We don't really care about him. Batman's kind of a jerk to him this entire game. So that antenna's here. There's like a dialogue skip thing you can do where you kind of overlap a bunch of dialogues that aren't supposed to be overlapped. But I do it like the very safe way, which is you go here, you then do that, and then grapple back on. And now I'm overlapping a bunch of dialogues that you normally wouldn't overlap.
If I alert them, they'll kill Scarecrow's men regarding the
Saves a bit of time. I haven't timed how much though.
Soldiers, all armed. If I
This is the introduction to something called a predator. So when guys have guns, you're intended to be very sneaky. So that, because especially on hard, because when you get shot, you'll die very quickly. There's something you can do called a silent takedown, which is normally very slow, but it doesn't alert people. But in any percent, you can actually cancel the silent takedowns, and so that's very helpful. It makes it so that you can not alert anybody and take them down basically immediately. It's very fast. So that will make predators on hard much easier. So now that we have this, we also got a new bat suit, but don't worry if you donated to that Dark Knight one. I'll switch it back at some point. Later, there's like a convenient point to switch that doesn't lose too much time. So we'll rescue this cop, and then hack the antenna. Although I canceled the animation for hacking the antenna, so we didn't actually see us hacking the antenna. So now what we're going to do is now that we have the antennas, we're going to use them to find out where the chemicals comprising the fear toxin are coming from. There's this thing on the right side of the map called Ace Chemicals. I have a sneaking suspicion that might be related. Oh, look at that. Who would have thought that Ace Chemicals would be where the chemicals are coming from?
Jim, I've traced the fear toxin to Ace Chemicals. That's where we'll find Scarecrow.
Impossible. I've had a team there ever since the evacuation started, just like you asked.
Crane must have bought them off. Or worse.
I'm in the area. I'll round up my guys and head over.
Hold up until I get...
So I'm gonna get an upgrade, which is critical strikes. It's basically what that does is when you punch people in a certain rhythm, it does 2 damage instead of 1, which is on easy it's extremely helpful. On hard it's useful, although a little less like directly useful. On easy, like you can take guys out really quickly with that, but on hard you don't take them out as quickly, but it does build up your combo so that you can do special combo moves more quickly. So, yeah, so now we'll drive on over to Ace Chemicals. In general, the general principle of this run is that if you can drive somewhere without like any adverse side effects, you'd want to do it because it's faster. So now that we're at Ace Chemicals, what happens is someone named the Arkham Knight comes up and blows up the bridge in front of us and tries to kill Batman, but Scarecrow won't let him. We'll head on over to Ace Chemicals. If we grapple up to the top of it, we'll trigger a cutscene where we're introduced to the Arkham Knight's army. But that's a long cutscene. We can just skip over that by gliding over that cutscene trigger. So let's just do that. That's a bit faster. And now after we do this, what we're going to do is we're going to try to rescue some Ace Chemicals workers. So the first one is here. Unfortunately, he's dead. Batman's not pleased about that. I'm not pleased about it either. What we'll do is take out our frustrations on these tanks.
Gates open. Time to bring in the car.
At this entrance. So let's go ahead and do that. This is the last time I believe we use the power winch in this category. So now we'll rescue the second worker. The second worker is off to the side here. There's like a little room here with like a. Oh, sorry, we're gonna use the power winch again. It's hard to remember. Yeah. Whoa. Nice. Yeah. So we use the power winch to pull down walls like this. So we're gonna rescue the second worker, but then we get confronted by the Arkham Knight and some soldiers. We'll see who the Arkham Knight is, or we'll see what he looks like. So that's the Arkham Knight. He actually has a lot to say in this cutscene, but we don't really care what he has to say. So what we're gonna do is just remote control the Batmobile and start shooting everybody. Arkham Knight runs away because he's a dirty little coward, but the rest of these guys are not cowards, so we're just going to shoot them. We're going to reward their bravery by shooting them with the Batmobile. And normally you want to shoot them all with the Batmobile. That was a bit slow, but it's okay. It's not a big deal.
Stay calm and tell me what you know.
They've been running the plant for hours.
Have you found Scarecrow?
So yeah, basically what Scarecrow's going to try to do is blow up this Ace Chemicals factory, which will release his fear toxin in the city. So after this, we're going to try to rescue the other. There are 3 more workers to rescue, although 2 of them are dead. So what we're going to do is skip on over to the 3rd worker. The way we do that is we will glide onto these pipes here,
Don't stop scarecrows.
angle ourselves so that we can dive roll here. Then this wall on our right has no collision, so we can just glide out of bounds to this elevator that's in front of us. This elevator is basically gonna be where on the lower floor where the last worker is. So it's he's being bullied by some militia people there. We stand up for bullies as Batman. Ah.
It's okay. You're
So now after we rescue this worker, so what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to actually use the Batmobile to pull up this elevator. But because we didn't do any of the, we skipped all of the relevant setups for that, we're not going to actually be able to do that. So you would think that we'd be stuck down here, but actually, but actually, when you have when you control the Batmobile, the game for whatever reason thinks that this worker is actually in the Batmobile now. So you can just deliver him to Commissioner Gordon, and he is rescued. Batman, however, is not in the Batmobile, and we want to get him in the Batmobile, which we can do by reloading from checkpoint. And I'm going to use this time to just pick that Dark Knight skin again. Someone put $50 for that, so or £50 for that, so it's only right to do that. So. So now what we found out is Scarecrow's in the middle of this facility, so we're gonna glitch our way over in there again. We're gonna go out of bounds, and then I want to glide to there's like a platform up here that I want to glide to. It's a little bit of a precise glide, but it's not too hard with practice. I line launch here. I'm gonna do a little wire walk, and the way this game works is sometimes like areas will load when you look in their general direction, so that happened there. Grapple here before the grapple point deloads, then glide on over, and then we'll go to where Scarecrow is, which is right here. So he's in the middle there. There's a Predator here. We'll just take him out. The strat here is kind of the same on all difficulties, although it's just on hard. You take a lot more damage if you mess up or if you get spotted. So I'm gonna just chill out here until this guy. And then sometimes if you're lucky, you'll be able to get like a fear takedown on these guys. I don't think I'm gonna get it. Oops. Yeah, this guy is.
I need to stop chemicals being loaded into the mixing chamber. Once I clear the room.
I'm just doing that to be a bit more careful because this is hard. Alright, so now we'll confront Scarecrow. Basically what happens here is Scarecrow tells us that Barbara has been kidnapped. In our panic, we let Scarecrow escape. That was really sloppy on our part. Barbara also has been kidnapped, which is a problem. But a more pressing problem is that this thing's about to explode and release fear gas everywhere. So there's some canisters that we can use to neutralize that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And you can cancel these canisters. It looks really funny, actually, because basically when you're putting the canister in here, it's invisible. Unless I push this in too quickly, then the canister will appear. It's always funny when that happens. Actually, it's always frustrating when that happens because it's slow, but it's also funny that the canister just appears. And ideally, you want to get... There are 4 canisters. 3 of them you can cancel, 1 of them you can't. So you'll see what the animation that I'm skipping is by canceling it for 1 of the canisters, hopefully. I think for the 3rd canister, I'm gonna try to put it in too quickly just to show the canister appearing.
It's what you taught me. Do the right thing. That's all that matters.
Okay, there. So I pushed it in too quickly, and now the canister will appear. So that's what it would look like if I was doing it glitchless. And then this last canister, you can't cancel it. So this is the animation that I'm skipping. You skip the entire thing where you have to pull out the canister. And then when we turn around, we get met with Joker, who which is weird because we cremated his body at the beginning of the game. So I wonder what that's all about. Maybe this flashback scene will let us know. So here in this flashback scene, we're playing the role of Commissioner Gordon. We're just gonna walk on over. We don't really know what's going on, but we see a VIP elevator. We're pretty important, so let's just walk there. Wonder if we can open this gate.
Great. How the hell am I supposed to get in?
Voice pattern.
Thanks for the good luck.
Identification confirmed.
Yeah, so we even have voice access. That's how important we are. So basically, if you recall from the beginning of the run, I think I mentioned that Joker had poisoned blood, and he sent his poisoned blood to hospitals around the city. So after the events of Arkham City, Batman and Gordon tried rounding up as much blood as they could so that they wouldn't infect anybody, but they missed some. So what happened here is Batman rounded up the people infected and put them in these isolation chambers. He basically kidnapped a bunch of people. So they're like missing posters in the diner at the beginning of the game. These are those missing people because Batman kidnapped them. So here there's Henry Adams, who has nothing wrong with him, it looks like, and then there are these 3 others, Christina Bell, Johnny Charisma, Albert King, who are turning into Jokers. So basically what Batman's trying to do is he's trying to use Henry Adams to synthesize a cure for this Joker syndrome. Commissioner Gordon also notes there's a 5th cell that has nobody in it. Batman says he'll be here soon. And we find out that 5th cell is for him because now that every time Batman gets exposed to fear toxin, he turns more and more into Joker. And that's going to be a theme in this game. So... yeah. Wait, so did we meet the goal to turn on Big Head mode?
Not yet, but do you mind if I just advertise the donations very quickly?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't reached the point to be able to toggle Big Head mode, but we're on a rolling poll throughout this run, so if you do want to see Big Head mode turned on, it only needs over £16 to actually get there. So if you donate £16, well, more than £16 to the Big Head mode yes option, we'll toggle on the Big Head mode. We've also only got £20.65 before we actually £600 as well, and a £20.65 donation will comfortably allow us to have big head mode turned on as well. So if you would like to donate, then please do so. The Tiltify link, I'll post it in the chat for you all as well.
Alfred.
Right now. And if you want to go there, and you can donate however much you like, and all the proceeds do that go straight to EveryoneCan as well.
Batman's gone.
Alfred, analyze the militia forces, troop deployments, equipment, movements. I want to know exactly what I'm up against.
I'll perform a full analysis of the occupying forces.
Okay, so now what we're doing is we're heading to GCPD in order to tell Commissioner Gordon that Barbara has been kidnapped. Commissioner Gordon also doesn't know that Barbara works for us. We're debating whether to tell him that or not. We'll make the decision at some point. But on the way, there's this predator. It's faster to just do it now, even though we're intended to do it a little later. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something called getting storage, which is basically you aim and fire the ret gun, and then quick fire a batarang. That's the animation interrupt you were talking about earlier. And so what this is going to let us do is it's going to let us zip in the near future. So I'll show you what that looks like.
Wait to see the look on his face when you tell him his daughter's been kidnapped.
Gotta go. That. Jim, I need you to stay focused. It's dangerous out there. Drive slow and let me deal with any trouble.
Why did I let this happen?
There's no way you could have predicted this, Jim.
It's my job to predict it as a cop and a father.
So we're escorting Jim to the clock tower after we told him about Barbara. Then we're gonna get chased by two cars. This can go well sometimes. It can also go very badly. Basically, you want to destroy these cars before the Arkham Knight finishes speaking. So looks like we did that. So that's all we can really hope for. Sometimes Gordon doesn't like drive to a sane spot, but yeah, this is not like the greatest spot, but it doesn't matter too much. So here, Alfred is going to now tell us the how much the militia presence on the different islands, but we don't really care what Alfred has to say. So on keyboard, this is a keyboard only thing. But on keyboard, you can actually skip this upcoming dialogue.
Sir, before you head to the clock tower, I thought you may like to hear the analysis of the Arkham Knight's forces you requested.
What have you got, Alfred?
So you go here,
As you
skip
can see,
that, go here,
Founders
skip
Island,
that, and then go here,
the
skip
remaining
that. So. And we have successfully ignored Alfred.
Thanks, Alfred. I'm heading there now.
Alright, so now we're gonna head to the clock tower. There's a bunch of tanks there.
Sir, extraction squad's down. Take control of the clock tower drones. He's coming. Switching to manual control. I'll stop him, sir.
Jim, he's in the clock tower surrounded. I'll clear the area. Let you know when it's safe to head inside.
Ooh, don't want to get hit there.
The enemy's acquired simultaneous strike capabilities. Then faster.
And then there's this last guy is right here. Alright.
Batman took out the clock tower unit.
So now when we get into the clock tower, we're going to be treated to a nice flashback scene. So here we're going to go in, we're going to see Barbara, and she's able to walk. But then she hears the doorbell ring, and she foolishly opens the door without looking through the peephole to be met with Joker in a nice flashback hat, who shoots her in the back and paralyzes her. There are also some fish who are not doing gonna do very well.
Pass out just yet.
Yeah, so that's not very cool. Joker makes a very tasteless joke. I don't know if you heard that. It said show a little spine, which I don't think is as funny as Joker thinks it is.
Just wait till your father gets home. He's going to be furious about all this mess.
So now what happens is, so we're, basically we're in the clock tower, and what's gonna happen is we're gonna tell Gordon that Barbara works for us. Gordon's gonna get really mad at us and then punch Batman in the face and then leave to go find Barbara himself. So then what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to track Barbara. We track her to Miyagani Island, do a Predator there, confront Riddler because for whatever reason, track Oracle to some tunnels, chase the Arkham Knight through those tunnels, lose the Arkham Knight, then find a lead about Penguin, talk to one of our friends, Nightwing, about Penguin, and then track Penguin. So what we're going to do is skip all of that and go straight to Penguin. So that skips like 25 minutes off of the glitchless run. It's a huge skip. The way we're going to do that is we're going to zip on out of this clock tower after we skip this upcoming cutscene. So that's what a zip looks like. It basically teleports us all the way to here, and it teleports you based on where you reloaded from checkpoint. So I reloaded from checkpoint in Ace Chemicals, which is the overworld, which will teleport you here, or zip you here. So now we're gonna head on over to Penguin. Penguin is over here. So basically Penguin is we cross this bridge. There's like a warehouse here. Now in the actual, if we were doing this glitchless, that door would be closed up until you actually need to go to Penguin. So right now the door is closed, but we can actually glitch on through this door.
Yet you cannot even starve your friends.
And now we will confront Penguin. So that's probably the biggest skip in the game in terms of how much time it skips.
This is gonna be great. He doesn't even know you're here. Come on.
The Arkham Knight, Barbara Gordon. Tell me where they are.
So that's who we had.
I wanted to manually split there because my auto splitter stopped working, and I want to have like a rough estimate of how long this run is taking. To see how far over or under estimate will be. Anyway, so we confront Penguin. We're going to interrogate him. He's going to tell us basically that our next lead is going to be some airships owned by some guy named Simon Stagg. You might have seen posters of those airships in the diner when I pointed them out, if you remember. I would be surprised if you did. And I also mentioned before that we actually found out where Penguin's location is. If we had done this the intended way, we would have found it out from Nightwing. And then we told Nightwing basically to screw off and go back to Bloodhaven. But then, fortunately, we're in a bit of a pickle here, and Nightwing comes to save us. Batman is not appreciative at all, but I'm appreciative of Nightwing on behalf of Batman. I control him. I can do that. All right, so we'll take these guys out. Alright, so now we beat up all those guys, and now Penguin has these weapons caches. We're going to try to destroy this. You can cancel the closing of this door, but it's a really difficult cancel for whatever reason that, like, rarely works, so it didn't work there.
Please, what are you doing? Bats? come on. Don't lock me in here. I'll do anything.
So, now what we're gonna do is, once we blow up the cache, we need to get out of this room. The door is closed, but again, there's like a door that we glitched through, and it's still closed. So what we're gonna want to do is, we're gonna. Oh, whoops! I messed up. So if I reload, the door is open, but it's still faster to not go out the regular way. Let's not mess it up this time. So what it is what you can do in this game is something called a door cancel. Basically what that does is that lets you open doors without actually going through them. So here we unloaded the interior and unloaded the overworld. So now we can glide on over to these guys who are stopping us from exiting. Normally you're supposed to call the Batmobile and shoot those guys with the non-lethal rounds because Batman doesn't kill. But yeah, but it's funny because like sometimes the dialogue says he's in his car even though I'm right here. Like right there. Take out these sentries. And now we'll head on over to Stag's airships.
Sir, Stag's airships have been hooked and tethered. We're really
Stag's airships are tethered to Watchtower, which is basically another Predator that we have to do.
for guard duty. Who are we guarding? Scarecrow. The boss wants to
You can't stay up there all night. You're gonna have to think outside the box on this one.
So I want to make sure I grapple to this gargoyle here. Sometimes the grapple point can like change for no reason to the wrong gargoyle, which messes up this movement. Alright, so this is the Watchtower. There's some guys in here. I don't want to get spotted by that drone. Sometimes that happens if you're a bit... This Predator's not such a big deal, especially on this category. Even though it is on hard.
They have taken out the militia. Now to disable the tower.
Alright, so... we can blow up this Watchtower, and now we are going to head to... now we want to go to Stag's airships, but it's password protected. So we need to find a way to get through those password protected doors. Fortunately, Lucius has something called the remote hacking device, which is coincidentally on top of this building that is right next to where Stag's airships are. Very convenient.
There's a service hatch on top of the airship. I can use the remote hacking device.
So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go through this first airship, find Stag, then Stag basically gets taken by the militia to the second airship, which is to our left. Then we basically do a Predator to get his handprint, then we do a fight, then we go to the second airship, do another fight, and then there's a Predator on the second airship that we would then do. So what we're going to do is skip to that second Predator on that second airship. Sorry, skip to that Predator on the second airship. First we'll proceed like normal. There you go.
Those soldiers are using an unmanned drone.
First we zap these guys.
Now I can turn
Hack this thing. You want to throw some batarangs here to like avoid like an animation.
Not yet, but the Arkham Knight and Scarecrow's forces.
Make sure you tilt the crate to break this window. We're gonna need that.
What are they planning?
Barber's the priority.
Then when we go in here, we're gonna reload from checkpoint, because I mentioned before that when we zip relative to where we last reloaded from checkpoint. We zip to basically something called default coordinates, basically the 0, 0 coordinates, but those coordinates change based on whether you're based on like if you're in an interior versus an exterior. So basically we want to do a zip relative to the Stag's airship default coordinates. So now we're going to tilt these crates, and once we go here, we're then going to exit this airship once we get that autosave. The reason for doing this is that the airships actually move during the course of the story up until a certain point, and that autosave is the last point at which the airship is moves. So otherwise it won't be in the right position for us to do this, to get to the second Predator. So now that we've exited, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up over here to get storage. After that, we're gonna glide to a specific spot. Basically, the reason why we're gliding to this spot is that we want to unload the airship, but we want to then be close enough to the airship so that we can load it in when we get to the wall of it. So right now we zip to the airship and it's unloaded, but when we get to this wall over here, the airship's now going to load. So now we are on the second airship, and we can go over here. Go over here, and then there's like a hole in the ceiling here, so that's kind of funny. Stag has been doing human experimentation on people, which is not very cool of him, but you don't really see Stag very much in this category. Alright, so there's this Predator here. This is like the one time we'll see Stag. They lock him into this cell in the front here. This Predator is normally very hard and slow, but what we can do in this category is if we go here and door cancel this, then the enemies in this room won't be able to see you, which makes this Predator basically a joke. So on hard, so this is very useful on hard. On easy, it's actually slower to do it this way. But on easy, you also don't really take damage, so.
Our work is nearly done. My calibrations are almost complete, and the cloud
Oh, whoops.
charged. Until then, keep the plane.
Take out this minigunner. This animation is slow, and that's the reason why on easy you can lure this minigunner to a certain place to take him out faster, and that's the main reason why you don't do this strat on easy. We're gonna get storage here. We're gonna use that storage in about 15 minutes.
Not yet. The cloud burst.
Okay, this is it.
And now we're going to the front of the airship, and we're gonna confront Scarecrow. Sometimes I let my chat choose whether to choose the left or right, but I didn't make that an incentive because it's a little silly. I always choose the left. Someone said go right. We'll see which one is right. Oh, looks like the Scarecrow is incorrect. Maybe if I had chosen the right Scarecrow, I could have triggered the very rare good ending where you finish the run in under an hour, which is no one has ever done yet, but I'm sure it's possible.
You're not dying. It just feels like you are. My toxin is filling your lungs, drowning you in your greatest fears. What can you see? A city engulfed in fear, betrayed by those you trust the most. Your darkest secrets revealed.
So Scarecrow gassed us, and as we know, whenever we get gassed, we start turning more and more into Joker. So hopefully we see this thing where Batman's eye turns green, which is always indicative of him turning into Joker. Sometimes the camera pans up, but we didn't get that here, so that's nice.
Maybe it's already happened.
Look at me! I'm amazing! And this body! I can't believe how strong it is!
Such brutality.
That fight can be kind of wonky sometimes. Yeah. But
Come on, finish him.
that was actually pretty fast that time.
Than the creep who killed your parents. You need to do something. You need to stop him. Good.
Something's changed. You're different.
I'd prefer to call it a work in progress, but it does show potential.
You're trapped. There's nowhere to run.
Who said anything?
Alright, so here Scarecrow escapes again. He says he's not running, but this looks like running to me. Alright, so yeah, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a call from Scarecrow about Barbara. He basically says that Barbara is in the same safe house that where we went to. Where we got Ivy from. And yeah, the Dark Knight skin is much less bulky than the default one, or like the Batman versus Superman one. That's why that's what one issue I have with it. It's like, it makes Batman look really skinny. So here we have Barbara. What happens is Barbara gets exposed to a bunch of fear toxin and then shoots herself in the head. So Barbara is now dead. F's for Barbara.
Killed her.
Batman's understandably distressed, but Alfred is telling him we need to continue on. Mentions that there's something called the Cloudburst. If the name itself isn't clear to you, the Cloudburst will create a big cloud in the city, full of fear toxin. So. Our next step is gonna be to try to find the Cloudburst and stop it from gassing the whole city.
He heard you. He's wondering how he can live with himself.
Master Bruce, don't let Miss Gordon's death... Don't let it be for nothing.
Oh, you can't bring her back. Let Uncle Jay take charge. No more bad memories, no more pain, no more fear. Scouts on her.
Ivy.
Oh, no.
Sir?
Alfred, run a satellite scan of the city. Let me know the instant you locate the Cloudburst.
Of course,
So yeah, now we remember Ivy's immune to Scarecrow's toxin, so we will go to Ivy to talk to her. Basically, when we talk to Ivy, we're gonna find out, she's gonna tell us that she's able to create spores that can counteract the toxin. She's gonna need, but she's not able to create enough by herself to like stop to like neutralize the like if the whole city is covered in it. So we're gonna have to find a way to help her. And the way that we do that is there's a big plant in there's a big plant in Miyagani Island called the Botanical Gardens, which she will use to help. By the way, so there's this guy in the jail cell. We can intimidate him again, and then he hits his head on the toilet, which is really funny. But now we can't interact with him anymore.
What the hell happened on that airship?
Scarecrow took the cloudburst.
Alright, so now we talk with Ivy.
I need your help.
From where I'm standing, you need.
Yeah, so we're gonna take Ivy to that plant on Miyagani Island, so that she can help neutralize the fear toxin if we need to. But while we try to exit, as Cash puts it, there's one mother of a tank out there, so we're gonna take a look to see what that's all about. This tank is a Cobra tank. They're heavily armored, you can't directly shoot them, but maybe we can find a weakness.
That's the left side scan. Now I need to
By scanning these sides. When you play this casually, you're going to scan it from a vantage point, but you can actually just like walk up right next to it and scan it.
its armor is too big.
Then what you want... Oh,
However,
God.
there is a weakness. The drone's rear exhaust port leads straight to the power core.
I want to go
One well-placed
here.
shot with the Batmobile 60mm cannon should take it out.
Now then you can RC the Batmobile. That saves a little bit of time versus going back to the garage.
Got destroyed. Impossible. We know what caliber rounds he's using. The armor was impenetrable. We can't just roll a single heavy armor unit into the field and expect to crush him under it. He's better than that. Initiate stage 2 attack protocols.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a Batmobile upgrade, but it's a fake upgrade. The way the game works is you're supposed to select beforehand what upgrade you want, and then you can get it. But we actually skipped every single cutscene where you select the upgrade, so it gives us this sonar that doesn't actually work. It's really funny. It confuses the game a little bit. So now we're gonna head to Miyagani Island. Continue taking Ivy. We're supposed to go over a bridge, but we never actually lowered that bridge because we skipped the part of the story where we lower that bridge. So the bridge is actually still raised. We're gonna call our Batmobile here. I'm gonna get a tank upgrade, which is the Cobra Lure, which is extremely useful for these Cobra fights. So here there are 3 Cobras. This Cobra fight is the easiest one by far, but they get much harder, much worse. So the Cobra Lure lets you shoot walls, and then the Cobras will change direction and go towards where you just shot. It helps you control the RNG of the Cobras, which there is a lot of. So that's why it's worth getting. This way. So the botanical gardens are right here. Ivy is gonna go into the plants, but this plant isn't enough. She needs more. But the only plants that can help are buried deep underground. So what we're gonna have to do is find some way of letting Ivy know where those roots are, so that she can set them free. So Lucius will have gadget for us. If you hadn't guessed, it's the sonar. We have the fake version of it right now from earlier, but we're gonna finally get the real thing.
Lucius, open the parking lot entrance.
I thought you were here already, Mr. Wayne. Must be a glitch in the system. I'll get that checked immediately. Mr. Wayne, the perimeter's been...
So when we go here, we are
Not for long.
we have like we have some tanks that come to greet us, so we're gonna give them some Wayne Tower hospitality. Okay.
Drone feed offline. Get back!
Oh, I did not want to get hit there. That's unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
That appears to be the last of them.
So now we get our sonar.
Consider it done, Mr. Wayne. Good luck with the gardening.
I like to go this way. This way is a little slower than like another route, but it's much safer if you aggro a tank.
Vehicles from Founders Island into the north and south of the city. It seems the Arkham Knight is tightening.
So we have to do that initial scan. It's good to do that early. Then we go over here and then we release Ivy's plant. The militia is not very nice. They try to shoot it down, but we'll deal with them. Let's just get this big guy out of the way. So now we have these plants, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go see if we can locate the cloudburst. So we're going to head to Panessa Studios, which is another one of our headquarters. Robin also happens to be there, and that's also where the Jokers are. So what Robin is doing is we have Robin. We're trying to have Robin focus on synthesizing a cure for the Joker syndrome that we are infected with. And that's why we're refusing to have him help us with anything else other than that. We also haven't told Robin that Barbara is dead, and Robin and Barbara are engaged to be married, so that's kind of like not very cool of Batman to do. But we're worried that Robin will want to help fight Scarecrow, so yeah, but we decide not to tell him. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the second most important gadget in the game, which is the freeze grenade, which also lets us do a bunch of skips. So,
good to see you, Batman. I'm guessing this isn't a social call. As bad as it sounds out there.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the computer, and what we'll find is that we can't actually fly our Batwing to look for the cloudburst because there's a missile launcher. And there are also some radar drones protecting it. So what we're gonna do is there's a relay drone though that's like synchronizing all of the drones that the militia has. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if there's anything from this relay drone that we can use to help us with our quest to have our Batwing look for the cloudburst. So ultimately what we're trying to do is destroy that long-range missile launcher. So here what we do is we get on this drone. We also did a zip because that's faster. It unloads the whole overworld is unloaded, except for this drone. So we're able to do that, and this is going to let us blind drones.
The relay chip will allow me to temporarily blind the drones,
which is useful, particularly here in this tutorial, where we have to blind a drone.
I need to destroy the radar before the drone comes back online.
So now we need to destroy 2 radars. This is the first one. So we'll destroy it. Then the second radar has some guys guarding it. We're supposed to fight them, but you can actually skip that fight. I will try to see if I can do it. So what you do is you go here. The radar's right here. Then I drop a smoke. Then you can basically phase through the floor and destroy this radar if you're in detective vision, which is kind of funny. This door here is closed, but we can actually, if we get into corner cover, we can actually grapple out, which is interesting. So now we want to go do the missile launcher, which is another predator. This predator is probably the first like challenging one in the run. I just messed it up quite substantially.
Don't underestimate him. So that I keep telling us. You're all giving it back too much. You think you lasted this Arkham walk? Yeah. He's about to run out.
Okay, let's do this the safe way then, which is to do this. Oh, there's another guy there. So now we want to destroy this missile launcher, but we need our Batmobile to do it. So what we're going to do is lower the bridges and get our Batmobile on here. There's some Cobras that are patrolling this area, so we're going to have to take them on. This Cobra fight can go badly. There's a lot of RNG in this.
Sir, Batman's lowering all 3 bridges into Founders Island.
And this is on hard as well, so Cobras spot you faster, and if they spot you, it can lose a lot of time, or you could die, which is even worse. Alright, so that's one. Then there's one right here, so I want to try to lure it over there.
There's a whole world of hurt coming your way, Batman.
Uh-oh, that Cobra's gonna spot me. He might even shoot me. That's not great. That was not exactly ideal, so now I kinda... It's very hard to, like, it's very hard to... When Cobras are aggroed, it's very hard to properly destroy them. Oh, okay. They're not aggroed. Alright, so now we will take this one out, and the last one, hopefully it, like, comes towards me. I don't know where he's coming, what direction he's coming from, though. I guess he would be coming from here. Oh. Is he? Okay, good.
He wiped out the drone unit and Drescher. Strike team Delta deployed. They're heading to target location.
Alright, so now we can pull up this ramp to get their Batmobile in position to destroy the missile launcher, but the Arkham Knight brings some of his buddies over to talk with us. We also have a question for him, so we will ask him.
Seriously, he heard you boys coming from a mile away. Those pointy ears aren't just for show, you know.
So let's ask him our question.
Are you?
Not yet, Dark Knight.
I guess he doesn't want to answer. Oh, I need to get an upgrade here, so let's get that. Oops. Alright, so now we can destroy this missile launcher.
You think you can outwit me? You think I'm just like all the others?
So now we can have our Batwing fly around and look for the cloudburst. So we're gonna look at the we're gonna go to the clock tower to analyze the data.
The clock tower once it's complete.
Okay, now we're done playing soldiers. Let's have some real fun. We'll take turns. Ooh, I don't know, crime scene investigating or some of Riddler's OC delightful scavenger hunt. And I'll do some hit and runs in the Batmobile. I promise, I'll hand control of your body right back when my turn's done.
Yes, this is a picture of Barbara and Robin. They like each other a bit, so it's still kind of not cool that we haven't told Robin that Barbara is dead.
Identity confirmed.
Pull up the footage from the Batwing's onboard scanner.
And yeah, this is a nice long cutscene.
Batwing has completed an orbital sweep of Founders Island, but there's still no sign of the cloudburst. I will, of course, let you know when the situation changes, but one moment, sir. I'm receiving an emergency broadcast from the movie studios.
Batman, I hope you can hear this. The movie studios are under attack. Robin is in trouble.
Listen to me very carefully. You need to lock down that room. We can't let the infected get out.
Of course. Tell me when.
Henry!
That's enough from you! Well, look who's too late to save the day. How's it going, Batbrain? It's been a while.
Harley Quinn.
So you do remember me. That's weird, because you killed the only thing I ever loved. And now I find you've been keeping a whole new generation of Jokers to yourself. I know. Awkward.
Don't do it. They're not stable.
So yeah, Harley came in, took over the Vanessa Studios, and released all the Jokers, and Robin's in trouble. We need to go rescue
Alfred, I need
and
to get to
fix
the
everything there. Fun fact, we can't do it the intended way, because we did a zip earlier that basically there's an elevator that we took down to Vanessa, then we zipped out of there onto the relay drone, and that elevator is still down there. So if we tried to do it the intended way, we would actually soft lock. So what we'll do instead is we'll do some glitches to get to the bottom of Vanessa Studios. First thing, well, we will go do what we're supposed to do right now, which is we go over here. We have to fight these guys. The fastest way of doing this is to like go behind here, lure all these guys around the generator, and then blow it up. Ideally, you take everyone down. By blowing that up, I didn't, which happens. It's a little bit of RNG, I think.
Open.
Voice print failure.
So here he says, here we can't open the door. Harley changed the voice code access. we have to
Harley's changed the voice code access. I can
find
adapt
another
the
way.
modulator I picked up from the Arkham Knight's driver.
This is a modulator he
to
picked up
synthesize
from the
your
Arkham Knight's driver. The Arkham Knight's driver, we interrogated him earlier in the game, except we actually didn't because we skipped that part. But in glitchless, we would have interrogated him, and that line of dialogue would make sense.
It's been a while.
So right here. So now what we'll do is we'll unlock the door or unlock the gate, but then we're not going to actually go through the door like we're supposed to. We're going to actually go through the door out of bounds. So the way we do that is we can glide over here. This wall over here has no collision, so we'll just glide on through there. We'll grapple up here, and then we're going to get to the door from out of bounds right here. So open it here, then we turn around and open it again. Now we want to wait until this door opens before we skip this cutscene. Basically, right now the entire overworld is deloaded. But if we hadn't waited for that cutscene, for that door to open, then this elevator, there's like an elevator that would be loaded in, and then we wouldn't be able to actually enter this room. So now what we do is we go over here. We want to trigger that Robin dialogue right there, and then we're going to leave immediately and not help him, because we don't need to. We're going to now glide on over to this door over here. Do I have enough height? I think. Oh, I do. Okay, good. Oops. So then we'll cancel this door. Then there's a predator coming up, and what we're going to want to do is cancel this door twice. The first time we cancel it, the enemies won't see us. Second time we cancel it, we'll be able to see the enemies in detective vision, so that makes it much easier, because there are a lot of walls in this predator. If you can't see the enemies in detective vision, it's very, very annoying. So now what we're gonna do, before we do the predator, we're gonna get some storage for later.
Did I pass? You need practice. Come on.
Then because they can't see us, this predator is just all about just running around while they can't see you. Oh god. Ah. Oh boy. Let's So fun fact, so here I'm countering because Robin is used to counter Christina Bell, otherwise Christina Bell will scratch him in the face. And she can actually, scratch Robin in the face forever.
What's she got against me? I'm practically your prisoner.
Which is funny, I think. You don't die. So now we're going to get to the next Joker, which is Albert King. He is over here. We're going to glitch our way over to him because that's faster. Oh. Throw a Batarang, which kills him, and then we will go through this door, then go through this door again. And Albert King, like if you look in the middle, he's there, but he's like a broken shell of a man. He's not moving at all. So So that's the fight. Normally this fight takes a while. You're supposed to like do these like dual takedowns, these dual attacks on Albert King.
He's too dangerous to leave free.
We're both better off without that loser.
So now we'll head on over to the third Joker, which is Johnny Charisma. We're going to do a similar thing to glitch our way out of there. This is why we needed the freeze grenade. And also, freeze grenade's very helpful in Predators on hard.
Just you and me, baby. Boring. Like he's interested in a fight.
So before we do that, so there's a guy in a chair. So that's Jason Todd, who was a previous Robin before the current Robin. So we'll rescue him and be treated to this nice flashback scene.
Batman? Is that you? Batman's not coming to save you, Jason. Look up. It's been 6 months now, Jason. I think it's time to face that. Screws you. That's the spirit. You're a real chip off the old bat block. Not that it'll do you any good.
Why won't you just kill me?
What? Oh, no. I'm not going to kill you. Not yet, anyway. You're my sidekick now. Imagine it. You and me, out on the streets, starting fights, picking on the weak. A regular dynamic duo. Just like Bats and that new kid of his.
No, he wouldn't.
You think? So, this isn't Batman, then? Oh, weird.
Yeah, so Jason Todd was a previous Robin who was basically kidnapped and tortured by Joker and killed. Batman wasn't able to save him.
Well, it was the only way for you to get closure.
So every time Robin says he wants to help or like go, if he like tells Robin about Barbara, he's worried that the new Robin might die just like his previous Robin did. So next we're gonna do the last Joker, which is Johnny Charisma. So there's this keypad that we have to find the code for.
Is mechanical with no digital components.
There's like a.
Won't be able to use the remote
I think when you play this casually, there are a few things. One is you're supposed to look in a mirror to find out what the code is, but also if you enter the wrong code in 5 times, Batman will just get frustrated and break the lock and just like smash the control panel and then just open the door. I don't know why he didn't just do that in the first place.
You can isolate the data using
the code itself is 0539, and what that is, that's a reference to May of 1939, which is when the first Batman comic was released.
Now highlight the track for
So that's a fun piece of trivia, I think.
So I see. Thanks, Henry.
Fun fact, in Big Head mode, you can't see the keypad, so I have to turn off Big Head mode anyway for this part. If I were in Big Head mode, which I'm not. So we go in here, and basically Johnny Charisma, he's a singer he has these bombs around. We're gonna have to defuse these bombs as Robin. But then we're gonna get like, we also treated to everybody's favorite song, who like, I think people who know this game, a lot of people really like this song. And fun fact, so Mark Hamill, who plays the voice of the Joker, was initially not gonna do Arkham Knight because that voice is hard on him. It's hard on his voice to play the Joker. So then once he found out he had a singing solo, he agreed to do it.
Take me on home to the asylum. Never alone in the asylum. Anarchy ruled, it was wild, but through it all you never smiled. Joke's on you, I'm in your head, so look who's laughing now. Remember in Arkham City, I killed your girl.
And you want to do these bombs clockwise because this thing. Also, if you avoid the spotlight, you can be in his peripheral vision, and it's perfectly fine. So.
Look who's laughing now. Stuck in your head and I'm laughing. I fill you with dread and I can't stop laughing. Your parents are dead and I can't stop laughing. What else can I do? Now I'm part of you. I am the clown, prince of drag.
That's all the bombs disarmed. Time to take down Charisma.
A hell of a time. You're part of me.
No encore?
And he's a professional singer? Even Alfred's...
Alright, so we will now
No problem. Call it mine.
exit.
Robin, wait here with the infected. I'll go ahead and deal with Harley's men.
So when we exit, there's this minigunner here. We were supposed to have taken him out earlier, but we actually skipped that. It's not a big deal, we can just freeze him, and it's all going to be fine. So now we get this guy to open the gate. Harley's going to come out. We're hiding in this grate, but Robin's going to disobey us and confront Harley himself. Fun fact, if you just wait like 3 minutes without doing anything, Harley will kill Robin, but it's a very like drawn out dialogue. The game really wants you to not let Harley kill Robin.
I shouldn't break cover. Harley could kill Robin.
And if you try to get out by pressing space, Batman says I shouldn't break cover, Harley could kill Robin. So naturally I like to spam that during this entire thing.
Harley could kill Robin. I shouldn't break cover. Harley could kill Robin. I shouldn't break cover. Harley could kill Robin.
No one puts their hands on the boss, lady. Get him!
I'm impressed.
What can I say? I'm irresistible.
We need to get back to the cells. You take Brown. I've got Quick.
Alright, so now, so one funny thing is that when we get out this door, there are going to be thugs out there because of the fight that we skipped. So that's just a funny thing about this category. The thugs never don't despawn yet. The other thing is that once we take Harley to the cell, what happens in the story is that we find out that Henry was not actually symptomless. He also is a Joker. And what he does is he kills all the other Jokers to quote-unquote purify the gene pool. Then he's about to kill Batman and Robin, but then Batman's eyes turn green, and Henry notices, oh, Batman's going to become a Joker. So what he does is then he shoots himself because Batman is clearly the better Joker. So now all the Jokers are dead. Harley is devastated. And then Robin makes the very astute observation, a very reasonable observation, that if Batman turns into a Joker and if he's not able to stop Scarecrow and doesn't come back to lock himself up, Robin's not going to be able to stop him. So that's
But it's the only way.
That's a reasonable point. So he tells Batman, "Hey, go lock yourself up," and so he goes to.
It's the Arkham Knight. He's found you.
I'll take
Fun fact: Robin can get stuck behind some thugs sometimes, and then he'll just vanish into thin air. It's kind of funny.
You'll be fine.
But I don't know if that'll happen.
Of course I will. You trained me.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Security lockdown initiated.
There's going to be a cutscene coming up. I'm going to be right back during that. But basically, what we want to do is we want to spawn in Joker. Joker then talks to us, and then I like to look here. I don't know if that saves time, but just in case it does, might save like a frame or two.
Hey, I never finished my story about Jason.
I like to look at the cowl because we have to look at the cowl eventually. And then we will walk on into this Jason cutscene. I'll be right back.
Have you got something to tell the nice man, Jason?
My name is Jason Todd.
Who do you hate?
Batman.
Excellent. Of course you do. Did you get that, Bats? Kid's not yours anymore. He's mine. Mine. To do with as I wish. Hey, I never asked. What's the big secret? Who is the big bad bat? His name. Tell me.
Of course, sir. It's...
Never could stand a tattletale.
Yeah, so Jason is now dead, so F's for Jason.
You should try it sometime. After all, you've seen what happens when you drag your friends into this crazy little game of ours.
And so what we find out is Batman never actually got in the cell. That was all in his head, what he was envisioning, what would happen if he lets Robin go out to fight Scarecrow. So now what's supposed to happen is we're supposed to exit, and then we're supposed to get a Batmobile upgrade, then we go to Ivy, fight some tanks, fight some Cobras. Then the Cloudburst releases the gas in the city. Then we want to go to Stag we do a Predator on Stag to find out where, like, how to talk to. We want to talk to Stag, and to do that we have to find out how to, like, stop the Cloudburst. What we're gonna do is we're gonna skip over to Stag directly. We're going to skip all of the part about the Cloudburst getting released. So this script is called Cloudless because you don't actually get the cutscene where you release the gas. So basically the game is going to be in the story part where the gas is released, so it's going to think that there's gas, but you'll never actually see gas. So the way that you skip it is you go do this. Go to this door over here. Oops. And then we reload here. I believe this will work. Yeah, good.
Stag got out somehow. The militia won't spare him if they track him down. I should deal with them first before I look for him. I've synthesized the Arkham Knight's voice.
So we'll do this Predator. This Predator is not too hard, but it can... I've died to it before, so hopefully that doesn't happen.
Check it out. Watch my back while I fix them up. What happened?
Alright, so let's hiding in the floor grates is a nice way to kind of cheese these Predators. Let's do this. And then Stag is
I've still got Stag's fingerprints on file.
Stag is right here.
Pick up his trail.
So we will So now what we want to do is reload from checkpoint. We're going to we need to get out of this area. There are two intended ways to get out of it. One of them we can't do because we glitched on in here. The other is very slow, so the fastest way is to actually zip out. So we'll just do that. We have to go into like the front of this airship to load in the overworld. And after this, I'm going to start doing the most complicated skip in the game, which basically what happens now is our Batmobile isn't working because the cloudburst, which we haven't actually which should be released, but even if it doesn't look like it, has disabled it. So we got a Nimbus cell to repair our Batmobile from Stag. And then we're supposed to go through some subway tunnels in order to get another plant to help neutralize the cloudburst. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to go to the end of that subway tunnel directly. It saves like 1 minute or something. 1 or 2 minutes, but this skip can go wrong. I have a lot of backup saves in case it goes wrong. But what we do first is we want to go into this tunnel a little early, then leave it immediately. The reason why we want to do this is because we're going to then load the tunnel in again, and when we do, we're able to exit the Batmobile, which is important for actually doing the skip. So now we'll go repair our Batmobile. Repairing the Batmobile involves... I'm also going to get storage because we're going to do another zip. This is not a new channel. This is a marathon I'm doing. This is a... So now when we repair the Batmobile, we will, so we have to pull this thing out. I like to pull it out. You want to try to get the fast beeping. If you pull it out, then like Batman has to stop. It's like wastes a bit of time, so you want to be very careful about that. You can see guys beating each other up in the background. Some guy's going to try to hit Batman. We can counter him. And then you can see everybody in the background turns into the Joker because we're supposed to be being exposed to a lot of fear toxin, even though it doesn't look like there's any fear toxin in the sky.
Take a deep, slow breath. Deep, slow breath. All that effort must be tiring you out. You're getting sleepy, Bats. Oh, get in! In every brain cell, your gray matter's turning green.
Mr. Bruce, are you all right? Sir, are you there?
Give me a moment, Alfred. I'll be fine.
So now what we're going to do is basically, so Ivy needs another plant, so we're going to try to scan it. We have to, but on the way there, what we're going to do is we're going to load in the tunnel so that we can exit the Batmobile. The way we do that is we go over to right here. You can wait for 7 seconds. Although what I do is I just spam. I just try to wait until I actually exit the Batmobile. It wastes like 2 seconds, but it's not a big deal.
I'm on Founders Island. Time to scan for Iana's roots.
So you first scan here. Oh, whoops, that was not the right position.
You're there, Batman. I can feel it. The pulse must be stronger to free her.
There we go.
Alfred, I've located
So now what we're gonna do is
sonar can't penetrate deep enough to release
execute the remainder of the skip, which involves first we have to load the tunnel again. So we're gonna glitch into it from out of bounds.
It's a start. Send me the location.
Like we did before.
Ivy, your plant's buried too.
Now we'll zip. This just is to get to the end of the tunnel a little bit faster. I don't know how much faster. I think it's like 15 seconds faster or something. I don't know. They're like cobras. They can spot you and can occasionally mess up the skip, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm gonna do a dive bomb here, and then I'm gonna do another dive bomb right here. Then what we're going to want to do is we want to look to the left here, load in that big tunnel over off to the side. And we want to also like deload like the rest of it. That's not happening. There we go. But I don't think I have enough height, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, pull up the line launcher, wire walk up here, then line launch here. Those rocks deloaded, but that's okay. And what I think you're supposed to do is just look here and then call the Batmobile, and yeah. Then what we want to do is we want to have the Batmobile fall off here, but very carefully right next to this tunnel. And then what that's going to do is if you go very carefully and slowly, the Batmobile is going to spawn inside of the tunnel. So. Now we have to reload from checkpoint, so we need a checkpoint to reload from, otherwise we're not going to be able to do it another scan. So yeah. Now the fun fact about this skip is that there's a tank fight coming up, and then there's like two other tank fights after that. If I die in any of those other two tank fights, I actually soft lock the game. So I have backup saves in case that happens, but that's just a fun fact about this skip. And on hard that can be a problem because hard is kind of hard. This tank fight's also tricky, but you can die in this and it's fine, and it won't soft lock, so. So with this missile launcher, if you are in the right spot when that missile launcher spawns in, you can actually destroy it very quickly. It actually destroys itself. But this category is not yet optimized enough where you plan for that, especially on hard, because I'm focused more on not dying. At least at this level of optimization.
Ivy isn't strong enough to purify Gotham. No one is.
He's just wasting a twin rattler.
Then there's always like some straggling tank that's like that you can't find.
That's where I can strike.
Okay. There we go. And so up now, this is the bane of my existence on every single category, which is this Cloud vs. Cobra fight. Optimally, you can do this fight in like a minute and a half, but I've had this fight take 5 minutes before with like bad RNG. It's very RNG heavy, and they can and these Cobras can just misbehave. This is okay. Like the way the Cobras are behaving right now, that was really unlucky. That was really unlucky. I do not like it when that happens. I lost my missile barrage trying to destroy that tank, and it didn't actually hit him. That was really unlucky. I know that that's a thing. I've done that before, especially with that. But it got like you can get blocked by some objects sometimes. Ooh, I'm gonna get spotted. And by the way, these tanks two-shot you, so that's why you need to be careful. I'm gonna just be careful. I'm gonna go a bit slowly and let's go do that. And, no.
Area scan complete. We've got nothing.
What?
Quicker next time.
Oh man, a little bit of trouble, I think. Oh, I got away with that. That's so cool. I'm happy that I got away with that. This is not good. I am going to die, I think. There we go. I'm in trouble, but we can get out of this. This is like your this is like you have to.
We've lost one. Programming Cobra to respond. What do you think you're doing?
Alright, there we go. So now we will.
It's a plan that works.
Alright.
Both are too well armored for a direct assault.
How's the cloudburst operating?
Its power source is internal, but the device has been modified with a coolant system.
So we want to scan this Cloudburst tank after Alfred finishes talking.
Cloudburst could take out the tank as well.
So it doesn't really matter like what happens before then. And then now we're gonna want to shoot it. So there's the strat for doing this like very safely is
I can't stay near that gun. Attack and back.
I'm gonna want to try to lure it to the clock tower, which I don't really know where I am. Okay, now I know where I am. Where is he? Is he like up on his way? There we go. So this is the clock tower here.
He's trying to overheat the cloud.
He's not quite lured all the way over, but we will. Let's go on this side. Oh, whoops! I did not want to do that. It's annoying that you like bump into him and you take damage and lose your missile barrage. So one thing is that in this game, if you save up your upgrades and then you use an armor upgrade while you're low on health, it gives you armor and then it also refills your health. So I can use that in case I like get very low on health and I'm worried about like dying and soft locking. So we call that bat snacking in the Arkham games when you refill your armor to when you're low on health. I guess I have to shoot the back of it. So I'll just do that. Ah.
You can't match this power.
So this is like kind of intense. It's hard to do this while reading chat because you have to react quickly. What we're trying to do is the cloudburst tank will try to cut you off. So like right now, and I'm looking at the mini map to see where he's which direction he's trying to cut me off from, and then adjust accordingly. So it's very you have to kind of pay attention during this. It's hard, so it's usually hard to read chat when I do this. All right. And you have to wait for this overcharge to go down, which it finally did. That was interesting. I think I am... Okay, let's do this. I hope I can get away with this. Good. I'm gonna be very safe. I'm just gonna get in here. What you want to do is you want to lure the cloudburst tank into this clock tower area, because then he's going to be shooting missiles and they won't hit you. You don't have to worry too much about your health, but I did get hit a little bit, so my health isn't quite as high as normal, but I still don't need to worry too much. Yeah, so that's the end of the cloudburst tank. Arkham Knight tries to escape. Batman rescues him because he has this nasty habit of rescuing villains. In general. So he's gonna try to assault us. He's not very grateful. We're gonna punch him, and his mask is gonna come off, and we will see that the Arkham Knight is Joker. This is a hallucination. It's not Joker, but
Sir, the Arkham Knight.
Oops. So now what we're doing is we're going to go over to Ivy to see how she's doing. Maybe see if she can get rid of the cloud of the toxin all over the city that you can't really see, but it is there, I promise.
My toxin overwhelms her. She's paying the price for opposing me right now.
And then what Ivy does is she sacrifices herself to get rid of the toxin. So Ivy's now dead, so F's for Ivy. So now what we're going to do is head to GCPD, because there is a suspicious radio broadcast that we want to see what that is. Spoiler alert, it's Commissioner Gordon. He is in the Arkham Knight headquarters, and we are going to... because it's the Arkham Knight headquarters. Basically, what the Arkham Knight headquarters is there's a bunch of fans. Where it's basically if we were to do it the intended way, we would have to like do a bunch of basically puzzles to disable these fans and go down. And then the end of the first half leads us to a tunnel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually skip to that end of the first half of the Arkham Knight headquarters directly. First we have to talk to this GCPD guy in order for a certain switch to spawn that we need. I think in runs I've forgotten to talk to this guy before, and it was very cool because I wasn't able to actually proceed on with the run.
Tell me about this, bro.
Alright, so basically I'm gonna do this skip. The skip is a little weird and annoying, but we'll see if we can do it. So the first thing we'll do is, so we have to get in the Batmobile naturally. Also, that green guy right there is a Riddler informant. If we were collecting Riddler trophies, we still wouldn't interrogate him, but if you're playing it casually, you would interrogate him to find out the locations. So what we'll do is we'll exit the garage, once we get out here, we'll eject immediately, just to avoid any unwanted tank stuff. We'll go here. I want to make sure that okay, good. So that there's a light post that I really want to have exist. Sometimes these tanks can knock them over. Hopefully that didn't knock it over. Okay, good. So we glide out of bounds. Then what we're going to do is glide over here. The visual cue is there's like this pipe on our... You want to be to the left of this pipe over here. Then we will grapple up here. So then we go here, this elevator. We want this elevator to load, so we grapple up here to get it to load. Then we have to like carefully walk down and like for it to stay loaded. Then we go down here. This bottom part's now going to deload. Then what you do is you dive. And then there's going to be a tunnel on our left that's going to load in, but we want it to. We don't want to look too soon, otherwise too much of the tunnel loads in, and we're not going to be able to. And we're not going to be able to actually get in to this tunnel without doing a backup, which is like a really horrible backup. This switch, by the way, won't spawn in unless you talk to that guy in the GCPD. And so now we have successfully skipped to the end of the tunnel. The issue, though, is we need our Batmobile here, and our Batmobile isn't here. But we get an autosave, so if we reload from checkpoint, the Batmobile will show up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through these tunnels and we're going to come up with our next boss fight, which is the excavator. So the Arkham Knight survived that cloudburst thing. He got into this big drill that can obliterate us. So we're going to do the sensible thing at start and run away. As we're running away, we'll get to the end of this tunnel. We notice these like things on the sides of this tunnel that explode and do damage to the excavator. So what we're going to want to do is continue to do that. So there are 3 more additional tunnels, and we're going to want to lure the excavator through each of them in order to damage it. So the excavator spawns are very predictable. So I know that the excavator is going to be right there. The initial spawn and the initial direction it goes in is very predictable. So long as you make that, then the excavator is extremely predictable. Then lure it through this tunnel with the fans. I use first person because if you use third person, the camera's a little weird and you can't really see in front of you. I much prefer this camera where you can see in front of you. But some people insist that third person is better. I don't understand them, but it's just preference. So, yeah, here, there's another predictable spot where I know the excavator's going to be. I'm going to lure him to this tunnel that's on my right. So I'm manipulating the excavator to spawn over there in that corner, and he will then drive towards me. So I know that once the numbers show up on the right, I will, if I go here, the excavator will show up here pretty soon, right now. So this one has ramps. This is kind of an annoying one because sometimes like the Batmobile can like flip over for no reason. this is the last tunnel. It's on our right here. And again, we do the same thing. We manipulate the spawn and know the direction, and then are able to shoot at it to lure it into this tunnel. This is also the easiest tunnel, so it's kind of nice that it's last. The reason why I also do the tunnels in a certain order. I think it's faster to do it in my order, but I know other people don't do it in my order. I'm not sure why. This tunnel, though, you always want to do last because it puts you directly in front of the door that you want to get into. So the door lock is disabled. We pull this fan down, then we get confronted by the excavator again. Excavator seems dangerous. Let's escape. And then the excavator destroys our Batmobile. So I know a lot of people don't like the Batmobile in this game, so this is their favorite part. It's not my favorite part because I like the Batmobile, but yeah. So next up is Commissioner Gordon's up here. We have to fight some guys, and then we'll have to do the Arkham Knight fight. Spoiler alert, the Arkham Knight is Jason Todd, which we will find out after we rescue Gordon. And so now this boss fight where we fight Jason Todd or the Arkham Knight is the bane of my existence on hard. It has killed a lot of runs because Jason has a sniper rifle and he can one-shot you, as well as just the fact that predators are difficult on hard because you have to be pretty careful. So for this first phase is fine. You have to do 4 phases. Second phase, what you do is you glide on over like this. And then you have to take out 6 guys. I think it's 6. No, it's 5. I forget. We'll find out. Let me use Detective Vision and find out. I think it's 5. 5. Oh, what is going on? Alright, so this next phase, there's like a faster way of doing this, but I used my smoke, so I'm gonna have to do it this slower way. So I'd like to take out a guy on the escalator, then you glide to the Arkham Knight, then you can reload from checkpoint, which gives you back your smoke. Then you take the remaining guys out.
Get over here! I found someone! He's injured!
I like to freeze people. That's like a very safe thing to do. Because they can't attack you.
Go get him, Batman.
I'm not afraid of you, Bruce. You're not a legend.
You're Robin, Jason. You're not what he made
Oh,
you.
you gave your one donation? Did you donate to the big head thing, or was it just a regular donation?
So, that's the end of the Arkham night.
Alright, so now so thanks for the donation. I saw that it was like I think it was like £2 or something. So it doesn't quite make it, but thanks for the donation. Oh, $2.50. Yeah.
Jim, I just want to say.
So that Arkham Knight fight went pretty well. That's like generally I'm perfectly fine with it going like that in runs.
You couldn't have stopped her.
Particularly the not dying part.
Like her old man.
Brave.
You know, you see a lot in this job. A lot of pain, a lot of suffering. But I'll never forget taking a witness statement from an 8-year-old boy who'd just seen his parents gunned down.
You were kind, Jim.
I was thinking, I may never get a chance to tell you this, to say sorry.
You don't need
So when we get to the top here, what we're gonna find out is Barbara is actually not dead. She's alive. Commissioner Gordon is basically trading us for Barbara. Gordon also shoots us in the chest and we fall off the building. Of course we don't die because we're Batman. But Scarecrow thinks that Scarecrow is not happy about that. Like, he doesn't want Batman to die, so he thinks Batman's dead, so he decides to just throw Barbara off the building. Batman rescues her, which is cool and stuff. And then we're confronted by all these tanks, which is a bit of a problem because our Batmobile got destroyed.
Where's the Batmobile?
Destroyed.
What?
Don't worry. Lucius made us spare.
But Lucius has a spare Batmobile for us, so that's very convenient and highly, that's not what I wanted.
Going to kill him, isn't he?
Not while he can use him to get
Alright, so now we dealt with the tanks. We'll take Barbara to GCPD, set her up with a computer, and she'll be very useful to us. What we'll find out once we get there is that our computers are being... the militia's trying to take over Barbara's computers, which is a problem at the clock tower, so well, first we'll deliver that Barbara, then we're going to head on over to the clock tower.
You don't need to worry about us or feel responsible. We're fighting with you, not for you, okay?
It's good to have you back. Cash, I found Barbara. I'm bringing her to the lockup.
He's alive. Thank God. What about Gordon?
He was captured by Scarecrow.
You've got to be kidding me.
We'll
Have you just gone quiet, or is it the connection issue?
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if we just do a quick donation read?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we got £2.50 donation from Razor. Razor Flamekin is one of the other moderators of InstaSpeedathon, and his comment is for a good cause, and it also goes towards a big head mode. Yes, but it does not quite give us enough to surpass no just yet. But if anyone does want to surpass no, then we're only about £20 away. And by donating £20, we'll also have reached our £600 donated, all to EveryoneCan. So if you want to see the big head mode at least once during this run, because we are coming up close, I think, to the end-ish time.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the end. I think my best possible time right now is like a 2:35.
Fair enough. So yeah, for one £20 donation to the big head mode yes option, we'll not only have reached £600 donated to EveryoneCan, but we'll also get the chance to see the big head mode in this run at least once. So please do consider donating if you want to. I'll post the link in the chat as well.
I could have sworn I saw a robot earlier.
Alright, so we're gonna do this clock tower predator. You can shoot like these snipers with the Batmobile. So
I'm gonna check them, because I got stuff. Sweep the area and find Batman.
The Batmobile's under attack. I need to get back there.
we don't need to get back there.
What you have reduced them to. The muley.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get storage, because there's a zip I want to do. I also reloaded from checkpoint before doing this predator. That also will help with that zip, so. Oops. Alright, so now we've restored the servers, so now what we're going to do is head back to GCPD and talk with Barbara once more. Once we get in though, we're gonna, the militia's gonna send a gigantic army of tanks to basically shoot up the GCPD. Not very cool, but we'll have to stop them.
Scarecrow should just give up, man. He ain't taking you. No way.
I'm gonna interrogate this guy and put him in lock him in the cell. Reveals some Riddler locations, which we're not gonna pick up. Or some Riddle locations. Alright, so now we can talk to Barbara from this side of the wall, which is kind of funny.
I'll have your network. Do what I can.
Yeah, so now GCPD is getting shot up by tanks, so we're going to have to deal with them. First, we will go to the garage. There are going to be some guys that try to fight us in the garage, but we're going to not do that fight. We're going to just zip out.
Cash, full lockdown. Now.
Alright, so now what we need to do is go back into the garage to power the secondary generator. So avoid that. Carefully avoid the tanks so that you don't get shot, which can happen. Then there's some people here we have to fight, so we'll fight them. Ah. What? Alright, so we'll power up the generators, and then after that we will be able to open the doors to the garage. Oh, did I not do that one? Okay. And then there will be this tank fight that we do. This tank fight is pretty hard. Not gonna lie. There's a strat to cheese it, but it's slow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just do the tank fight regular, like I would normally, and then bat snack if I have to. Oh, that was not good. I did not want to get hit there. What? Can't hit again?
Just fire the shot.
Drone moving to flanking position.
Hacking drone. Batman, I overcharged the tank's energy cells. Trigger an EMP for the shot.
You cannot sustain their hope any longer, Batman. They will die.
I'm already really low in health, so I have to do this.
Freed and forsaken. Reflect on your failure as you salvage their corpses from the rubble.
Tank's ready to blow, Batman.
Twin Rattler offline.
EMP blast prepared. Shoot it. Okay, next hack started.
Confirm multiple hits. Over.
I've got control of that tank.
Ah.
Dragon's been taken out.
Nice shot. Nice.
You cannot stop it, Batman. Their world is crumbling.
Safeguards bypassed, core temperature rising. Finish it off.
Sir, we need to stop the hack at its source, otherwise this is over.
Nothing's changed, Sergeant. Reduce that edifice to dust and this battle is ours.
EMP ready, Batman. Take your shot. It's like being in the field again. Kinda. Takeover protocol initiated. Got it.
Status critical. Awaiting orders.
Oh, where is this guy? Oh.
Send them in. Yes, sir.
Alright, there we go.
There's nothing left, sir. Nothing.
You played your part.
Could have been smoother, but we got it. And then the final part of this assault is that the militia's gonna send some people onto the to the top of the GCPD roof to get in from the elevator on the top. So we will stop them.
Systems on the rooftop. I can take the bastards out. You just set them up.
Oh, what? That was not the guy I wanted to... And then this last wave is we can do these environmental takedowns, which are helpful. I revived a ninja. Alright, and that's that fight, so now we're gonna head on over to the Panessa. The only reason is because that's where we need to go next, and it's a little faster to just do that now. When we get to Panessa, we're gonna get a dialogue thing where Oracle tells us that that Commissioner Gordon has just accessed the door, which is actually pretty funny because we're at the door and Commissioner Gordon isn't here.
Open.
But now we will go down the elevator, and we're gonna find that Tim has been, or Robin is Tim Drake. So we're gonna find that he's been kidnapped, which is utterly unexpected, given that we locked him in a cell defenseless.
Tim.
Barbara is going to be understandably like displeased about that, but basically Scarecrow tells us that if we want to rescue both of them, we need to turn ourselves in to him.
Scarecrow will probably just pump him full of fear gas and slit his little throat. Oh, what a waste. Ah, well, just you and me now, eh, kiddo?
You left any...
So it's decision time, Bats. Give yourself up to Scarecrow and get us both killed? Or is it time for the new dynamic duo to hit the streets?
Yeah, so we'll head on over to Scarecrow. We're gonna turn ourselves in. Barbara even told us we have to do whatever it takes to get Tim back. So we turn ourselves into Scarecrow right here.
Are you crazy? You give up and we're done. Both of us. There's no command. Give up. There's so much fun.
Your fears get the better of you, I see. You think that I will win, and Batman's life will be over. Not because of what I have done to your precious city, but because you are scared of what I will do to your friends, your family. They are your weakness, hiding just below the surface. I'm sure that you're scared of what will happen when I tear that mask from your face. What will we find? Your true identity, or proof that without your mask, you are nothing, impotent.
So Scarecrow's going to make us leave our utility belt on this table. I guess we're going to do that. Seems like a good idea. Then he's going to tell us to get in this truck over here, which also seems like an absolutely fantastic idea. When we get in the truck, Scarecrow's obviously going to gas us, because that's what he does. We're also going to be talk to Alfred a bit. Alfred's going to tell us that there's someone tracking our movements. We're going to find out who after the run is over. There's a we should have enough time to watch the ending cutscene, where we'll find all that stuff out.
I knew he would.
I think I may have missed something, sir.
But yeah, then we lose communication with Alfred. Scarecrow starts monologuing as usual.
And from now on, I need your undivided attention.
And you can see like the fear gas. You can see like some. You can also like slide kick here. There's not much you can do in here, but you can slide kick in here. It's kind of weird. You can also dive roll, but dive rolling just looks like that. And then we, I guess, get into a car accident. But we might also be hallucinating. We get out of here. We're in Crime Alley, which, if you're not familiar, this is where Batman's parents got shot. Which basically is the reason why he became Batman. So, no Batman story is complete without something related to his parents. So this is where his parents come into play. Let's pay our respects. Then we're gonna have bunch of Jokers come and try to basically take over our mind. We're gonna have to fight them off quite literally. So, hey, Badbot. But yeah, we're gonna have to quite literally fight them off. On easy, this fight is pretty easy. You just kind of you don't have to counter at all. But on hard, you do. They attack faster, so it's much harder to get away with not countering. So let's see how we do here. So I didn't have to do a counter there, which is nice. So I countered once there. I don't know if I had to. I definitely had to counter that. I would have gotten hit like 3 times if I didn't counter that. But if you notice, the countering animation is slower than just punching, so... There we go.
Come on, Bat. You know you want to.
Yeah, but that was obviously a hallucination, but we managed to fight off Joker this time, but next time we get injected with fear toxin, we might be in a little bit of trouble.
No denying it this time. You've got the mind of a killer. And that mind is mine. It's over, Bruce. You crossed the blood-red line. And now Scarecrow's going to set me free.
So now what happens in the cutscene that we just skipped, Batman actually gets unmasked on live television by Scarecrow. So now everyone knows who Batman is, and then Scarecrow injected Batman with a ton of fear toxins. So now we have basically become Joker. Not great, but we get to have some fun with this Joker mobile, which is not necessarily something that you do as Batman. And now we get to play Call of Duty Joker Edition. Shoot Penguin's hand there. There's no reason to, but you can. I'm gonna try to just shoot Enigma. I think I shot the... Okay, the hostage is still alive. Usually I just shoot both because it's a little easier. Then you shoot Two-Face here. He turns into Gordon.
Stop this madness. Please.
Yeah, then you can see Batman is tied up and he is Joker. So then what's going to happen is Joker's going to be his typical Joker self. Scarecrow's going to misinterpret that as Batman not being afraid. So he's going to inject Batman again with more fear toxin, but this time it's going to be Batman as the Joker with more fear toxin. So that might have some interesting side effects. We'll have to see.
Batman has done.
Good.
By the way, in big head mode, this scene is much more intimate.
It is over. Get ready for the encore.
And I'll turn on big head mode for the for the final after the run is over because it's very funny.
Why aren't you scared?
Yeah, so we get injected with more toxin, and interesting things start to happen. So we are watching our stuff get cremated. Then we're gonna go down here.
Crispy. Oh, I outgrew that body anyway. Trying to tell me something, Bats? Oh, wait a minute. This isn't my grave. Oh, no, it's too
So then
small.
he's noticing he has a small grave, some Batman statues popping out, then here's this awake with Harley crying, but nobody here, which is starting to concern us as, like, you know, as Joker.
Harley? You call this awake? Where is everybody? Forgot to send the invite. Harley, stop your sobbing and wrestle me up awake. Harley! Harley! I know what you're trying to do, Bats.
So yeah, we want that wall to open up. There's a radio, says Joker dies, Gotham doesn't care. That's concerning. Some guy on the radio doesn't know who Joker is. Harley and Riddler having a child together. It's also concerning.
I'll carve it on every corpse. No one's forgetting me. No. How do I get out of here?
So here, you have these Batman statues pop out, and eventually Batman pops out. I think when Batman pops out is a bit random. It can kill a run if Batman doesn't pop out quickly enough. Sometimes, like, I've lost like 30 seconds to that before.
I'll find you.
This run is on, like, I guess like 336, almost about 336 pace. So I don't think we have to worry about Batman popping out because it doesn't really matter too much. But anyways, I'm trying to like move the camera around, hopefully get Batman to pop out once after Joker says out of ideas, Bats. Oh, that was a very fast Batman pop out, so that's pretty good.
So long, Bats. Hell of a ride, but I'm getting off. Oh, you know, you almost had me scared back there. Me? What have I got to be afraid of?
You're afraid of being ashes. You're afraid of being forgotten. And you will be forgotten, Joker. Because of me. I am vengeance.
And so basically what's happening is now, so what happened in this cutscene, a lot of people misinterpret it. So what happened is Batman, by getting injected with fear toxin, by the way, that was time, once the last punch on Joker, so I think I said that late. But basically Batman, by getting injected with fear toxin, he basically succumbed to his greatest fear, which is becoming Joker. But then as Joker, he got injected with more fear toxin. And now as Joker, he's succumbing to his greatest fear, which is being forgotten. So that's what's happening. And now Batman is basically... Now Batman has nothing to be afraid of. He's not going to turn into Joker anymore because Joker's been forgotten. So that's so now Batman's immune to Scarecrow's fear toxin.
Do you understand?
So now I turn off Big Head mode. It's very funny in this.
Savior.
By the way, timing's done, so the run's done.
No more hope. No more Batman. I've won.
All right, so now
Not afraid, Crane.
yeah, he's now he sees he's immune. Scarecrow's gonna point a gun into Batman's face. It's very funny.
Without fear, life is meaningless.
But then we find out who's been tracking Batman's movements. It's Arkham Knight, who is now Red Hood. If you don't know, Red Hood is a vigilante who is kind of like Batman, except Red Hood will kill people very regularly. So. And yeah, so thanks for having me here. I'll just let this cutscene play out.
Scared.
Yeah.
No. He's strong. He's going to be okay.
Look after him, Jim. Look after them all. You've been a good friend. The best I could ask for. You were there at the beginning. And now, you get to see how it ends.
Best gift you've brought us
Big
all
Head
night.
mode.
I can't believe he showed up.
Oh, you can stop the timer, by the
Bruce
way.
Wayne, huh?
And this is the end of the cutscene. I think the final time was a 2:35:52.
You sound scared, Crane. Get used to it.
Sorry about that. I must have been away from my MacBook or my computer at the time, to be fair, because I just had food and I had to clean stuff up and stuff. But there we go.
That's okay.
Gotham still needs Batman. For one last night.
And then?
Prepare the Nightfall
Well,
protocol.
we've got about 25
There's no
minutes
other
until
way,
the
Alfred.
next one, so yeah, if there's anything you want to show off, then
Very good, Master
be
Bruce.
my guest.
You can be sure
Oh,
your
okay.
instructions will be followed.
I don't really have very much more. I don't think there's anything more to show off right now.
Fair enough. What I'll do then is I'll close the poll. And that, of course, therefore means the end of Arkham Knight. Any % hard. I
Yeah.
hope you all enjoyed that. That was quite a nice run to watch. Quite a long one. But quite fun nonetheless to watch. So thank you very much for doing that for us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
All right.
But yeah, don't forget everybody, we are of course doing this as a charity event for Everyone Can. If you do want to donate to that, you can do so through the Tiltify link. That's in the panels below if you click on the Everyone Can logo, or we do post it periodically in the chat as well. We are currently at a nice figure of £581.85. Following Razor's donation, actually, that was earlier. So we're now at £581.85 donated in total. We're only about £18 left now, £18.15 to be exact, from £600. And if we can get to £600, that would be absolutely fantastic. So please, please, please get donating. We don't have any more incentives to donate to. The Quaver Showcase incentive to have DJ Max the Respect Showcase in that has been met quite substantially, actually, with £150 donated towards that. So unfortunately, we don't have any more incentives to donate to or to that we need to reach. However, if you do want to donate, then please do feel free to do so, because if we can get to £600, that would honestly be absolutely fantastic. And it all goes to a fantastic cause. EveryoneCan really are a great charity who help a lot of people. They have a gaming centre in Manchester. Kids can go there, play games together, and they also help disabled kids get into gaming with custom gaming peripherals. Do you have any last things you'd like to say, Deacon?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, thanks for hosting this awesome marathon. I hope you get your £600.
Cool, thank you. That's what we want, everybody. You heard Deacon. He hopes we can get to 600, so let's get to 600. But we're going to go over to the interval now, and over to the next run, which is, let me look. It's Mega Man 4 Any Percent by Mr. Chris38. In fact, Mr. Chris38 was in the chat just now. And that will be our penultimate run of the marathon, actually. It's the second to last run before the end of the marathon. Mega Man 4 Any Percent. Now, after that run, we will be going for a break before Razor's run on Quaver. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be keeping the stream rolling throughout that break or if I'm going to close the stream and come back on. I will decide that when we get there. Most likely I'll probably keep the stream on and we'll roll on through that break. It does last for about an hour, so it probably gives people enough time to, go and have food, showers and stuff like that, but we'll sort all of that out later on. But anyway, we're going to go over now to the interval, and then we're going to head over to Mr. Chris38 for Mega Man 4 Any Percent. Thank you, Deacon, for the run, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.
Okay, yeah, thanks.